Portraits of Hope was an idea in 2019. My husband, John, had been working at the Lovelady Center since 2010, I believe.
The Lovelady Center is it's a 9 to 12 month residential program for women. I refer to them as women who have been displaced, either displaced from incarceration, substance abuse, homelessness, domestic violence. We can get court orders.
When the women enter the Lovelady Center, they're very broken. They're bound by the chains of addiction, and through about a 9 to 12 month program, they are rehabilitated, and the main component is the love of Jesus. So they are brought from a place of despair to a place of hope.
I had been doing community Bible study with some of the women from the Lovelady Center and just fell in love with them. And I wanted to come up with something where I could possibly help the women. I had been in the portrait business since 1986, for a long, long time.
The thing she said to me that was kind of really crystallized it was the fact that she said, I know what portraits can do. I've seen over the years how portraits are much more than a photograph. They encapsulate the essence of the person that's being painted. Her thought was, I want these women to see themselves not as they tend to see themselves, but to see themselves as they really are now.
And I had relationships with portrait artists all over the country. So I thought if I asked them to paint some of the women that had graduated from the Lovelady Center, I felt like they'd be happy to do it. But I didn't know how that would make money.
It seemed a little far-fetched for me. I was like, how is a bunch of portraits going to help raise money for grads? And when she was like, I think if we had this portrait book and this, you could see it in her eyes that she had this is going to be so great. And I was like, okay, Beverly, I didn't see it.
Before entering the Lovelady Center, I was a very broken person living in a very dark world. The Lovelady Center, definitely changed my life. The most important thing it did, it helped me establish a relationship with the Lord, and everything else has kind of followed. Addiction has touched everybody in somebody's life, some sort of way.
A lot of times they've forgiven a lot of people, but sometimes they haven't forgiven themselves, and they don't realize how beautiful that they've become. And at first I wanted to show them how we see them, because they're just so pretty and beautiful women inside and out, and they've worked so hard to get where they are.
The paintings help the women see themselves as God sees them, as a beautiful woman of God, a child of God.
And she knew that these portrait artists, because she works with the best in the country, the best in the world, that's what they would do. They would paint a painting that would allow these women to see themselves like they really are.
When a woman sees the beauty that has been captured in these paintings, and it made them feel more valuable.
Portraits of Hope Art Gallery is so much more than a regular art gallery. When you walk in the doors of our studio, you will be amazed by the art hanging on the walls, and each portrait is done by a different artist, and these are world-renowned artists, the top in the country.
Some of the artists have done the official White House portraits. Some are in museums, and they donated their time. Many of them traveled to Birmingham to go to the Lovelady Center and meet their client in person.
The first time I saw it, I cried, and I was just amazed, and I was just saying, is that me? That is me.
I was in active addiction for 15 years. My situation felt very hopeless, and to see this painting and it be in a book called Portraits of Hope, it seemed like it was the last thing that my life and my testimony ever would have been called, a portrait of hope.
To be picked to be painted for a portrait was something that I never in a million years thought that I would ever experience. And, because we come from the other side of the tracks where portraits didn't even hang in our house.
When they've gone through the program, many of them go in completely hopeless with no future for them, and they work so hard to teach them how to parent, teach them how to work and hold a job.
I wish we could say that 100% of the people graduate and go on to be successful and things work out well, but that's not always the case. That's the sad reality of the addiction world. What she recognized was that the women, no matter how well they did going through the program here, once they graduated, they were still faced with a lot of obstacles.
Portraits of Hope is really a valued portion of the sisterhood of the Lovelady Center, because you go through our program and then what?
Once they are ready to graduate, they want to take on their new lives, and they're so excited, but they're hit with many financial barriers. Some of those barriers are unpaid utility bills, so they can't get their first apartment because they have past bills that they have to pay off, or they can't get their driver's license reinstated because there were old fines attached to it. And through the funds that we have been able to raise, we work with their case managers at the Lovelady Center, and we help the women.
We've helped a lot with different sort of career choices to help them get the education they need. We have gotten probably about 15 to 20 cars that have been refurbished. The women save up part of the money, and then we match it, and then we work with a ministry called First Fruits Ministry, and they get the cars fixed up that have been donated.
Being a counselor now at the center, I get to sit with women who Portraits of Hope has paid their old power bills so that when they graduate, they don't have that barrier in front of them.
The Lovelady Center closes the door on a woman's past life, and Portraits of Hope opens the new door on their future. And how that looks, we're starting a mentoring program. We have monthly art workshops to bring the Birmingham community alongside the Lovelady graduates.
To see these barriers break down and allow the girl to, allow the graduate to go to the next has been absolutely life-changing. To me, it's as important as to what we do here at the center is we help them get their life back. It helps them, the life continue.
The aftercare program, God really gave this to Miss Beverly and them. You go through the program and then you hit these walls that were in front of you when you were coming into the program. And so Portraits of Hope is just plowing down those barriers so that these women can not only feel the value that the program has placed inside of them, but walk it out and not have these things in their way.
I want all the Lovelady grads to be able to gain that confidence in the Lord that I have gained through Portraits of Hope.
When you come in here, you will see it, and you can read through the book and see the stories behind the art. It is truly amazing to see the redemption that took place in these women's lives.
It's the power of the blood of Jesus. It's transformation. It's hard work. It's frustrating. It's difficult, but it's also the most beautiful thing you will ever see in your life. It's darkness into light.
It's more than just the portraits. It's a family. It's a community. It's women coming together to lift each other up.
And as the director of Portraits of Hope, I hope that we can come alongside these women, and the needs are going to continue to grow and grow as more women come through the program. And we are excited about that, and we are hopeful that more people will come along with us and help share in the love for these women so that they can be successful as they go into their new lives.